Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. On this special edition episode, I sit down with vocalist Evan Warren and drummer Devin McGrath from Alley Trash to talk about the history of the band and some of their key influences. Plus, we get into their latest release, New Failures, that just came out, and you're going to want to listen to the end to hear about a couple of very cool things that they have in the works as well. So, I hope you enjoy, and definitely make sure to check out their EP release show on September 4th at the Bristol VFW, which has an incredible lineup of Rhode Island and Massachusetts bands that you'll hear more about in this episode. Thanks.
How did your band start? Like, how did you guys get together and then start playing music?
Ironically, like, Devin and I, and Jake, like, I moved up here, or just to New England in general, probably like 5 or 6 years ago now from Georgia. I'm originally from North Carolina, but when I moved up there, like, we had kind of gotten in touch over something, like, just literally just a Craigslist ad, like, I'm just looking to play fucking music. And
okay.
For lack of trying, we just couldn't get our shit together, or they couldn't get their shit together, or I couldn't, and then I know for sure they couldn't find a bassist, and just wasn't sure about the genre. Yeah, it was like way too many, it just wasn't working. We never even met outside of emails, I don't think. Maybe even like 2 or 3 emails. Yeah. And then I think 2 years later, Jake reached out again via email and was without Devin, was like, hey man, are you still looking for a band to be a vocalist for? I remember your vocal style, and I've got a different thing going on now that I think you'd be better suited for, and I've got a drummer and I've got a bassist. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So that was when I was living in Providence. Jake, our guitarist, is in Cranston, and ironically, Devin's a web fan. I'm in Vermont now, post-pandemic, so,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
I make a fucking
so spread out.
Now we are. I didn't used to be. I was literally on Federal Hill in between Broadway and Atwell. So I have fierce love for Rhode Island and Providence in general. I miss daily. But anyway, so our original drummer was Will Porter, who's still a super dear friend. He'll be at our release show on Saturday.
Shout out to Will.
Yeah, shout out fucking Will. He's super sweet guy. He'll be running door for part of the day. So,
okay, nice.
Don't fuck with him. He
Yeah.
really is the sweetest. He's super funny, and a super talented drummer. He wrote most of the drum parts for the first EP, Cement Waits for No Man, and he even recorded the scratch drum tracks, I think, and then Devin came through, or we just kind of got to a building point where we're practicing pretty heavily. Ben, our original bassist, is Jake's brother, and we're like, let's go, let's record shows. This is obviously pre-pandemic, just trying to do as much as we can, and it kind of just got to the point where Will was like, he was about to graduate school, so he's trying to finish school really hard, and very career focused dude. Still super, he plays in bands still, just didn't have the time we needed at that time. Yep. And Jake was like, do you remember that dude who we were going to start a band with? He's available now. And I was like, bring him in. And then, Jake showed me Devin's work, his solo work, and then he showed me his stuff with Nile. And I was like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Fucking throw that in there immediately. And yeah, that's kind of, that was it. I mean, we cranked that out, shot that out, and as soon as we released that, Devin was pretty much already in the band. So I think, every live show has been played with Devin. Will got the ball rolling, but Devin's definitely, essentially our main drummer. I
came in and finalized everything.
Can you talk about what your experience was, Devin, coming into the bands and playing some of those early shows and what that was like. I mean, I remember seeing you did some stuff at like News Cafe and things like that, and you're kind of connected with the, that crew, Illuminate My Heart, My Darling Records and stuff like that, So like what was that like for you?
Yeah, we initially started, trying to get the ball rolling like right away. And we had like started getting shows lined up and it was going wicked great. And then, after like, I think we managed to get 3 shows in before the pandemic hit. And we had like at least 2 more lined up. Is that right, Evan?
I think we had 4 and then we had 2 more lined up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were ready to do what we're doing now, like a year and a half ago for sure. But it was a strong send off for sure. But the pandemic got in the way, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a struggle for so many, but so when you did the first EP, Cement Waits for No Man, how did that come about? Like, where was that recorded? And because that came out about a year or so, like right after the band, so it seemed like you guys were
it came out
to get stuff together and get it released.
Yeah, we didn't want to exist. It always sucks. Like, it doesn't suck. Like, do what you want to do when you start a band. But I always this band exists. Hey, we have music coming is like, it makes me just want to die inside. Not watching it happen,
but you're just like,
oh my god, I would. I wouldn't be into that. And Jake felt the same way. And he writes 99% of what we do. I would say, like, musically speaking, and then or skeletorally speaking, I should say, not even musically speaking, because obviously all the vocal parts are me. Up until just recently, all the bass parts were Ben, and then all the drum parts are obviously Devin, but Jake certainly constructs the skeleton of what we end up doing. So and then leading right into the other part of that, Jake records everything, or did record everything for Cement Waits for No Man, except for the drums. I think Devin did on like an electronic kit or something like that. Yeah, so it was cool. Like,
I chimed in a little bit on the
he like essentially just re-recorded the scratch tracks that Will had done on an electronic set from his place in Webster, and they literally just like meshed the files together, and it was honestly like it was almost kind of looking forward to the pandemic, the way that people would like write stuff and send stuff to each other, and I had I was kind of blown away that we were able to do that and shit it out the way that we did. But and then the second time around, Jake recorded, or Devin recorded actually probably most of the sessions.
It kind of swapped.
It kind of swapped. Like, I would say Jake probably like could take like a engineering and producing credit, and
for sure.
Could take like, and actually probably both share that. But yeah, it was like it was good double duty, and it was a really it's easy to do everything in the house. Like, we haven't even really discussed like only in like dream scenarios like of like what if like producers to go with, because we feel, at least I feel, hyper confident in what both Jake and Devin can do, and we're all comfortable in a studio setting, so we know what has to get done.
So that first EP was done by Jake, like in a studio,
in his fucking house, trash house.
In his house,
just trash house. His place. He has a house, like a house in Cranston that's just like a multi-level home. And he has the top 2 floors, and the top floor, it's all changing now, but top floor was kind of just where he recorded all the tracks and everything, and then the vocals.
Yeah.
I can't even remember where I did vocals now. Did I do them with you, Devin? No, you did in that space. I did in that space. No air conditioning. I remember.
Yeah,
always nice.
Well, you don't want air conditioning buzz in the background.
Yes, I do.
Have it, it has like a droniness to it,
it just makes me sound harsher. Makes me sound like I'm a better vocalist than I am. So I want that little edge.
Oh, I mean, I think you're an incredible vocalist. I mean, that's one of the things I want to talk about. which, I mean, we can kind of get into the new EP, but like, you leave nothing behind from what I hear, you know, like you just kind of put it out there, like, especially with Son of the South, like the end of the EP, like it sounds like you're just shredding your vocal cords. They are just, you know, like, and it's an incredible thing. And it's as a fan and of it, it's a cool thing to just see a band. And, you know, well, I'll talk about your live show, that you just don't leave anything behind. Like, you're not going at this like, all right, well, you know, we'll go 50% with this, or we can kind of hit this level. It's just like, we're giving everything that we can. We're putting out this, like, if my vocal cords sound like they're gonna just snap at the end of this song, then good, you know, like, that's what. So I appreciate that, but
you can give, like, at least like my vocal performances on both, like, you can give a lot of credit to Jake on that. Again, he's a real he's not even a perfectionist. He's just good at pushing. At least pushing me.
Like, in what way? Like, just having
just do it again,
or even kind of
just do it again, and just to have another take, just to compare.
Yeah.
And then to do. He always pushed for weird shit, and I don't always resist, but I want to. You know, you always want to stay in your comfort range of, like, what you know you're really good at, and, you know, I don't know that I'm really good at what I know I'm good at, but I know what I'm my like little. My alley is. So, you know, it happens a lot and it's embarrassing. We'd be right up your alley. Anyway, so, but yeah, he pushes me in that way, but then, like, there's certain, like I can like cite two things for that kind of like ending specifically, like, in that push that we kind of give, and we kind of always lean forward in that way, or try to. Is one, like, when I was younger, I remember being like a sophomore in high school or a freshman in high school, and obviously the Chariot's like a big influence on us. I spent 10 years in Georgia. I'm from North Carolina, like I said. So they're huge influence on our songwriting, and Josh is certainly a massive influence as a vocalist. I was lucky to see their first tour and one of their last two shows, and I remember being really obviously impressionable and hearing just almost like a cautionary mythical tale of, like, how they had recorded their first album at Glow in the Dark, just all live. And but it was like I knew who Norma Jean was, and it's like, you can't do that fucking live and, like, get it right. And I heard that, and I heard the record, Everything Is Breathing, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then you fast forward like 6 months later, and I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and I get to catch their first tour, like, while I'm down there. Like, my cousin was friends with the guys in Evergreen Terrace. Like, that whole early metalcore scene was literally like what I was growing up with. And then even like weird shit, like the dude from Yellow Card, the vocalist, was like the next door neighbor. Like, that whole Florida South scene, like, shaped like what a lot of what I do. Poison the Well is a huge influence on.
I definitely hear that.
Yeah, that's a really, really, even like Derek's stuff, like Sleigh Bells, I listen to constantly. Just those tones, really, you can hear all those Southern influences. My dad, where he grew up, was down the street from all the dudes in Leonard Skinner. My grandma cut their hair for a trade of an upright piano. Like, that's definitely like all. Yeah, I'll tell you everything. We're gonna save like the good stuff.
You have to jump on a podcast to learn these things about your best friends.
Yeah,
that's right. That's absolutely right. But no, like, yeah, that push is definitely Jake. Some of that influence, and then, like, as far as newer stuff goes, we're obviously big fans of like Converge. They always push so hard, and moving up here, I can honestly say there's way too many pieces of the Converge merch at the house here at my apartment. To say that they weren't like a big reason for me moving to New England in general. And then super lately that, Chase Mason from Gatecreeper, like, already I was a big fan of what he was doing, but then their newest album, just he's octaves all over the place as a harsh vocalist, screaming vocalist. It was really impressive to listen to. Inspiring.
Well, Devin, what would you say some of your influences are since they've kind of come out? I mean, like, it's you're playing on the new EP is fantastic. I mean, at least what I really kind of honed in on is a lot of your like kick drum work is pretty on point, and just the variations that you kind of have with that. like small little things. Like I play drums, so I always focus on that stuff. But kudos to you on all that work. If you're listening to this and just a fan of drums, like check out the EP just to listen to the drums. Like fuck Evan, but just listen to the drums.
Fuck that dude.
But it's awesome what you've done. Like there's just these like small little wrinkles that you kind of throw in. So yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit more of your story and who, helped influence you to this point.
Well, thank you very much. I grew up with a dad who played drums and who had played in cover bands like in the 70s and the 80s and stuff like that. So my dad is a big influence to my drumming. He's like the whole reason why I play now. But like I listen to like a lot of like technical stuff for like metal, a lot of like gent, but like also like deathcore and like metalcore. I would say I grew up on like hard rock and the grunge era. That was like really where things got started for me.
Yeah.
So I have a wide range of like stuff that my dad would listen to that like I would listen to growing up, and then like kind of my own taste of like when I started getting into harder rock and then like harder metal and then like crazy beat down stuff and deathcore and all that shit. But I gotta tip my hat to the classic drummers too. Like obviously Neil Peart, rest in peace. And all the way back to the Beatles, just because, they were the first ones doing it and paved the path for everybody else.
Shut the fuck up. Garbage coming out of your mouth about the Beatles.
Ringo Starr, bro.
Ringo anal starfish. Fuck that dude. Fuck Ringo Starr. Fuck all that. I hope we lose fans over me hating the Beatles. I hope to God, because I don't want them.
Oh, But yeah, a wide variety of influences for sure. But my dad being the biggest one.
That's cool, man. That's a cool experience to have, and being able to follow in his footsteps and deliver on that stuff too. Not everyone gets to do that, or even kind of take it to that next level. I mean, you guys are doing some pretty incredible things, and it seems like you're just have a wide net of fans and friends. You're playing shows, up in Central Mass and just down here in Rhode Island, and just doing a lot of stuff.
The Central Mass thing is definitely one of the main reasons that if we're riding any kind of a little wave right now. Shout out to everybody in Central Massachusetts. Like we're 100% you could call us just a New England band, but we certainly, we had a friend recently tell us to we should definitely claim Worcester as home. But I firmly hold we're certainly a Rhode Island band. Rhode Island's known for its power violence and hardcore. And we definitely have a lot of hardcore influences, and every now and then you might smell power violence and a fart from us, but there's definitely mostly metalcore, and there's certainly metalcores and metalcore bands that were prominent from Providence, but the genre has kind of gotten inundated in a dad rock kind of way. Sometimes and it kind of gets shat on, and you're no, hang on, this can be taken seriously. So there have been times where people ask us to describe what we sound like, and we said this 2 weeks ago. It's 2003 in an alternate timeline. Pretend Fall Out Boy didn't happen. Pretend My Chemical Romance didn't happen. I love both those bands, really. Just everything kind of was on this precipice. Even Census Fail, we've even talked about covering that band 100%. Everything was on this weird precipice where people could where metal could go insanely mainstream again. And I guess it did. Slipknot obviously is massive now. Bands like Ghost have been able to get huge, but there was a weird point where I thought really harsh hardcore was going to be in the limelight, and it was Fall Out Boy and Census Fail were damn close to that. That was, you go back to those early records, and those are super heavy, but certainly super accessible to super preppy kids that you would see like in high school and shit like that. Mm-hmm. They'd be wearing like a Fall Out Boy shirt, and you're like, well, you know what I mean? If they go back, you know, and they look at Arma Angelus, whatever the fuck he wins his band, you know, and then he shows up like on E-Tid record later, like, you know, it's certainly we wanted to like leave a positive mark. We want to leave a positive mark on that genre and not let it kind of go by the wayside. And it's certainly all I listen to. Not all, but you know, it's why we're kind of doing this. Devin's obviously into the genre, but his tech death influences are so much fun. It's very indie, kind of like from Will Putney, his project, like kind of like metallic hardcore, I guess, or yeah, that seems like a more appropriate turn of phrase. Like metalcore was like the bad version, or just like the skip riff, kill switch, engage. But like, yeah, fast forward 2 decades or 1 decade, and then you get metallic hardcore. So like you kind of just switch it around. But that definitely has more. We're even like we have some like thrashy influences to us. I won't say we're a thrash band, but like we had some kids say we sounded like Drain. Like, fucking thank you. But Jesus Christ, I never thought we would sound like Drain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, labels are always super tough to put on things. And yeah, I mean,
if I mention one, my girlfriend's like, shut the fuck up. No label.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's right. She's 100% right.
But yeah, especially when those things, and they evolve and they do make it into a more mainstream thing, then that can change the complexion of what it is. You know, I listened to a ton of emo in the like late 90s and like that when it became like popular on television, it kind of changed what it meant to listen to Sunny Day Real Estate and, you know, the Get Up Kids and early records and stuff like that. You know,
Combat Kid, that we cite Wake the Dead all the time as like a seminal fucking track to like, that's the bar. Like, if you can do it that catchy, like, I know like being heavy is like one thing, but writing a catchy song, I just was watching like a Lorde interview where she was like, it's so much harder to write something everyone is into, and
yeah,
like, and I don't want to like be a every person band, but like to be able to cast a wide net while being in like a very specific genre, that's the shit I'm into.
Yeah, but I think, you know, one thing that comes to mind is that, I mean, that first EP is fantastic. It was something that I heard the first 10 seconds of it, and it completely like drew me in. More than anything, probably of like recent memory of like, who is this band? I need to listen to this, and got really into it. But the new EP, New Failures, it seems like you're taking it to another level. At like this, like the song structures seem to have more variations to them. That there is some different like elements that you're pulling in. That even within the song, you know, that it like a part, you know, it's not in the normal structure of like, here's verse, chorus, verse, in a sense that there'll just be these other, you know, it's a lot, the EP seems like it has a lot of faster parts in it, you know? So yeah, I mean, I think that you're hitting on a lot of those different things. Like if you're a fan of, yeah, like, you know, speedier, punky, hardcore stuff, that there's going to be some things that you like with that. I mean, there's some stuff that, you know, I'm listening to you and it actually kind of reminds me of like earlier, like Refused hardcore kind of stuff, which is what I love, you know? So like, and doing it better than some of the stuff they're doing now, you know? So like, it's cool to have that, you know? But you know, yeah, like I think that you're able to appeal to a lot of different people. And then, just again, your live show, like you guys are just, I don't honestly understand how Jake can have such a full sound, or how you guys can have such a full sound with like a guitarist, you know, like it's a little bit aggravating.
Jake.
But I'm sure that a lot of people are like, how do you guys do that? How do you guys like have such a, like it just, there's so much kind of going on, and it's like, and it's coming from that dude, you know? So,
well, the album tracks, like, yeah. If you like look at our stem files and stuff like that, and you look like at the individual tracks, there's not much in there. We try and keep it pretty bare bones so that what we do on the record can be emulated.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like, oh, he put 9 guitar tracks and that's why it sounds full in the record. It sounds like it's like a track or 2, you know, but it sounds like it's
fat.
Like, yeah, like, yeah. It sounds awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. That's nothing on me. That's Devin and Jake. Jake, live Jake. Well, he certainly knows how to tune it correctly, and not tune it, but like he's really, really fantastic at making the sound thick. And live, we definitely double up on the cabs, and we usually do one on each side, which kind of helps.
Yeah, so you're kind of like,
but then
you simulate it basically.
Certainly, and then on top of that, like he uses like certain octave pedals and stuff like that not constantly even, but just as some spice in there in weird parts. But you mentioned like the speed specifically, like if Jake writes everything and does the skeletons, and then Devin like literally hammers everything out. I definitely have like a tastemaker influence towards Jake, where I just ruin his day sending him stuff that, like, I'm sure he's complained to Devin about it. There's no way he hasn't. Where like I'm just like,
has he? This is what I'm looking for in the interview. Let's get into the
there's no way he hasn't, because I'll just go on a kick where I'll like be like, I forgot about this, and I just want him to know all these things, and I'm like, we can do this, like all this shit. So faster is 100% intentional, because I fucking like every time you get like Refused, you nailed it, and I love everything they've put out. They're amazing, and they're a great reference to the genre, because a lot of what like any band, like He Is Legend, Every Time I Die, Ghost of 1000, Bronx, like people kind of think of them as like the mainstay, but like Refused is really who nailed that coffin shut, that part of the sound, like that rock and roll vibe, like even like Hives, and that's from the same world. Exactly. And I'm a really big fan of Bronx specifically, and they at least when they had Jorma as a drummer, like just leaned forward, that same like push, and hearing a band like Refused, who is like that, go slower is the biggest bummer. Like it makes my dick so soft, I'm just like, you have so much cool shit to do. I know you can do this, and I realize like you want to do different stuff. Like these bands have been around for fucking ever. I'm not judging, but like as a fan, you just want to. I always wanted to hear the craziest guitar solos, the most insane weird vocals. I wanted to hear the fastest blast beats and punk beats and fills. Like Offspring is a big influence of mine, so I always want to hear like super fast fills from Devin and shit. And he's really good about tossing literally random blast beats in places they don't physically belong.
Are there any specific things you want people to know about the new EP before we get into the release show and all that stuff?
It was our first time experimenting with recording live drums, and we actually did that here in Webster, at my house, in my parents' place, in the basement. And the other half of the record, we basically did at Jake's house. It was a cool time, just messing with the sounds and the drums and the rooms and just seeing, how it would come out. We didn't really know if it was going to be any good, but we ended up really liking it for what it was.
Yeah. And it was very a little bit to get out. I mean, obviously the pandemic kind of paused that.
Yeah, slowed it down a lot. But luckily, I think we had the drums already done like by that time. Either that or we did them over the pandemic.
Yeah,
can't remember. I remember we had like a majority of it done, and then like, just kind of waited out the pandemic and then finished out just like 6% of it, maybe.
That's what the exact percentage I've been telling people is we sat on it essentially for almost from the time of writing, it's probably 2 years close to it, like the first songs that were written on it. Like one of them, I think Double Truckin' used to be called Henny Craig. Totally different title. Like, so we've been playing that one for a while, but we just kind of like made like a decision just as a band. Like, I don't want to be the band that releases an album like during the lockdown, at least. Like when there's no possibility of going to see it. And, when we, obviously the Delta variant shit, like that's going on is making things weirder and more difficult. But like we thought we like kind of scheduled things like, okay, we know we can do at least a show now that, whether you want to, however you want to do it, you can be safe and go and we just wanted to do it at a time where people could be involved. We didn't want it to be at a time where people just sat at home listening to this fucking thing. It was like, bye, we forgot. Yeah, it's not, but, and even if we're wrong, even if everything does shut down, like at least we can have like a release show. And, and there were definitely bands that were trying to do that during like at the height of an actual lockdown. I'm like, I don't want to do that either. Like it's kind of punk, I guess, but it's also like not punk. Like it's a kind of a dick thing to do. Like, I don't know. So we just wanted to have that space. And then also, it's a really great excuse to nitpick a record for like, there was a pandemic. We had to make it perfect. So now I guess it makes sense. It gets a little attention. Like if 2 years of work gets you like a little attention on like an album, like I'm fucking in. I'll wait 2 years to record it and then wait 2 years every time.
No.
No, they're actually on that. I'll tell you this. We have one plan for like already for like.
Yeah, I want more like already. That's probably the thing with just these EPs is like I want more, So.
Right, and we all do. There's
settle down, James.
No, there's more coming. It's just a matter of like if we have some dominoes set up that we want to fall like in the right way, or like we want to be involved in like certain ways, and if they go that way, that's great. If not, you're still going to get stuff from us. It just won't be what we were planning, but it'll be at the same time. We definitely have the majority of whatever gets released done, at least sculpted, not done, but not recorded. But, like the molding is there. We just got to jam it out a couple times, and I have to decide if I want to write real lyrics or if I want to watch more horror movies and anime.
Yeah. So individually, what are your favorite songs on the new EP and why?
I would say The Blessed Peace of Your Eternal Slumber is a pretty crazy overall song. It starts off with the bass intro, which is gnarly. It used to be a guitar intro, and then we were like, hey, let's just, have the bassist do it. And that was a great idea. And then it like turns into this, I don't know, from this punk thing, to gets, I don't know, super heavy and super crazy, and then just this random part comes out of nowhere, kind of blasts you in the face, and you're like, wow, that was cool. Can we do that again?
I am so fucking glad you like phrased it like that, because that structure is where I got lyrics from. But talk about whatever you also want. I'll go back to that. Keep talking about what you want. That's just crazy you said that. I have to say it or else I'll forget. Go ahead. Yeah. Do you have another one that you like?
I mean, I really like Double Truckin'. I feel like that's a dirty song, that intro, and people are just crawling in the pit and doing push-ups and stuff. That really gets me going.
Yeah.
But Son of the South is so crazy, too. That's just like, that's a bonkers song. That's the bonkers song. For sure.
Yeah. The funny thing about, so those three, like Virginia Slim Fast has been out for a while. That exists. It's about news, whatever.
I love that song, but it's been out, like we've played it live before COVID, so like we feel like that's almost an old one at this point.
Yeah, I'm done with that song. Not done with it, but when we play it,
not done with it at all.
I want more. I want faster stuff, and everything else we have is faster. So Blessed Peace of Your Eternal Slumber is, so the way that song goes is like, it's like a happy like rock and roll punk thing, and then like there's just these weird turns, and then by the end of it, it sounds like the end of the world. And that's essentially the plot of Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
So the whole song's about that.
Yeah,
so it's just, it's all just, certain movies just like hit me, and obviously like I'm literally sitting in front of like my Oculus shit and wearing my thing shirt, but like certain ones just hit you like in a kind of way where you're like, oh, I could just write about that shit, and just it's so, when something's so much fun and crazy and like when it feels similar to a song, like something musically, you're like, oh, that's too cool. Like when it lines up and things like that, or certain words feel like rhythms. He said Double Truckin' also 100% probably my next favorite. And then, and again, probably because of that fucking intro is just super chuggy. And, you definitely have to come. Are you coming to the show? Are you coming to the release show?
I won't be able to make it personally.
We're out, Devin. Let's go.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
No, I'd love it. I'm so bummed that I won't be able to make it.
I want you to be able to see a show we play with these Central Mass hardcore kids coming out. These pits are like AFI Leaving Song Part 2 pits. Just absolute chaos. And these kids are literally just doing pit crawls, like through the dirt, through whatever dirty floor we're on, doing push-ups, doing sit-ups. Shout out Patty from Sophisticated Adult. Shout out Ian from Trauma Kit. These kids go fucking crazy. They're the sweetest guys in the world, but they really do go absolutely nuts. And that intro is certainly the cause of the chaos. Just a really chuggy mayhem. And then Son of the South, that's obviously, also, I'll say obviously 1,000 times. That has become the crowd favorite with only playing it once. We just get inundated now with texts from friends and from other band dudes and occasionally a fan that'll be like, that song is unhealthy for everyone involved.
It's nuts. I mean, that like time change and where it like speeds up like a minute in, like it gets me like goosebumps like every time I hear it, like it is just fucking on point, like,
super Dillinger.
That was like that really what came it. Like it's like Dillinger Escape Plan. Fans of that should check this out. But I mean I love that just when it kicks into the double time stuff, and it's awesome. It's an awesome song. So
that one,
and then you break your vocal cords at the end. So
it necessitates like the lyrics that I wrote. Like that's probably the only. I don't write very serious lyrics that often. If I do like write something that is serious, it's usually veiled in like either veiled in like a movie and like using it as metaphor and like saying, oh, I could put myself in that scenario and like kind of doing that. But Some of the South is just about me and stuff. And it's, the lyrics are like all on the table and it's pretty obvious, like everything it's about. So it felt necessary to kind of push the vocal stuff that way. It fit the tone and mood of what was being discussed.
But let's talk about the release show. It's happening this Saturday, September 4th in Bristol, Rhode Island at the VFW.
That's fucking right, of VFW. I love
that. I wish I could be there. I do wish I could be there.
I want a Rhode Islander. I want anyone, and probably some like hardcore dude that is way tougher than me, is going to be like, you're wrong, here's the date. I'm new here, but I want you to pinpoint to me when Rhode Island had its last hardcore VFW show, because there's tons in Brockton, there's tons in Worcester, there's tons in Boston, there's tons in Rockland, Peabody, fucking everywhere. The last time a Rhode Island VFW show happened. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll try to find out. I know Paul from Tor Johnson has done a lot of them, has got his ear to the track. We'll see.
That's certainly a historian, and anyone from Atomic Action can certainly tell us, like they would know. But I can't think of one in 5 years. That's the number, and that's about a year after I moved up here. I can't think of one, and that was pretty privy to what was going on, or at least I feel like I was aware of what was going on. So we kind of made a point to do that, and we made a point to have it in Rhode Island, and we, everybody on the bill is super intentional. Devin and Jake are actually in, like, I don't even know if you're announced, like you have a band. Have you like announced like your side project bullshit that you do with like your jerk off sessions?
No, we haven't. We haven't yet, because I guess, shows started picking back up, and we really haven't gotten back around to practicing yet because we've been so busy, taking on all these awesome shows. But we do have a side project that we're working on. It's like a deathcore project called Temporal Torment.
Yeah, so they've got the vocalist from Ego Death in that. Morgan, is it Morgan? Yeah. Who, by the way, shout out Ego Death, so that they're on this show, on the release show. That kid, I don't know how young he is. Just watch. I mean, whatever he does, if he keeps doing music, he'll be famous. He has a vocal range that makes no sense. He has a vocal harshness that makes no sense. He's super mature, super kind of focused. Yeah, he's going to do really well. So we threw them on it. Passion Play is a couple dudes we know. One, Ryan, why am I forgetting his name? Is their drummer, who I believe owns or at least operates Focal Art Space, where we met you. And then Paul has become a really good friend of mine. Shout out Paul. He was in Rage Quit, which is now Ghost Planet. Shout out Ghost Planet. But Passion Play is it's kind of probably a band I wish I was in. I wish I had Paul's job.
They're great. Yeah,
they're fucking sick. They're really fantastic. If I ever get kicked out of Alley Trash, I'll probably petition them for 2 vocalists, and Paul and I I don't know, we'll do something. But they're fucking fantastic. We actually never played a show with them yet. We have another one that hasn't even been announced. It's coming up probably in November. But they're definitely on it for a reason. Who else is on there, Devin? I cannot remember.
I can't even recall.
Trauma Kit, Sophisticated Adult, Clock Out.
Oh yeah, Clock Out's homies, with Devin's homie. Is that another Ryan, Devin, that you know in Clock Out? They're
yeah. Shout out to Ryan, the bass player for Clock Out. I work with him.
Cool.
Yeah, tiny fucking world. So yeah, we wanted some of those Central Mass, since like any of the following that we've gained like in the past couple of months is certainly due to that crew. We wanted to put 2 or 3 of them in there. One, because we wanted to be greedy motherfuckers and pack out our show with crazy kids. And 2, we definitely wanted to give them a little bit of respect because they're very talented, and it's a specific scene over there that's really dope. So yeah, we put Trauma Kit, Sophisticated Adult. We love you, Arson. Arson, rest in peace. I don't even know how to describe all that. We love Arson, all that stuff. We love the guys in Trauma Kit like family at this point. Same for Sophisticated Adult. We're trying to make something happen with them. That might be the next thing we do. That's a tease. Enjoy that. But yeah, all those guys in those 2 bands are actually like family, like 100% genuinely at this point. Take bullets for those dudes. And then Anxious Wave was kind of a wish list. Like, who the fuck can we get to headline this show? And who do we think we're not cool enough to talk to? That's always, I want to get a band that I don't think like will fuck with us. I want to get somebody who's like way too cool for school. Like, not mean, but like we're just peons compared to. And Anxious Wave's that band. I think that they're insanely talented. Can't wait to see them live again. It's been obviously quite a long fucking time. So yeah, that was just a treat for ourselves and another, like, who the fuck can we get to do this? And this Bristol VFW is like in an old church that got converted into a VFW.
Okay.
It's a really crazy space. We're hoping.
Looks beautiful inside.
Yeah, it looks like a movie set. It's kind of crazy. And if this one goes well, we've already been in discussions to kind of keep posting some stuff there. Maybe awesome. Some stuff that we might not even be playing. Jake is a real big proponent of just being active parts of the scene. He's always going over the guys' practice spaces, and if you're not involved, you're not going to get shit out of it, man. There's at the end of like Entropy and Vogue, like I even say, if you get the hell out of town, you fucking do something. Like literally, that's I have no tolerance for somebody that just wants to play a show and not hang out, not shoot the shit. Somebody that doesn't want to figure things out, find PAs, scramble for locations. I mean, the reason we fuck with these kids from Central Mass is because, like, when a show gets canceled, they're like, okay, we'll put down $900 to reserve a different hall and, like, make the show happen because we're not going to not have a show. So, I mean, that's the kind of people that I want to hang out with and tour with and party with. And I don't want to, ain't no half-steppers in this crew. Except Big Daddy King.
So what can people expect with the show? Like with the release, is there physical release that you want to let people know about? And is there anything else that you want to tease out to people?
Dirthead?
We will be having cassettes for the first time, I believe. Correct?
That's
very
exciting.
nice. And we will also be having a small, limited run of these awesome tie-dye T-shirts available at this next show that we're hoping, will sell out because they're pretty neat. I don't want to give away too much about them.
Yeah, but show up so you can get these. Because
show up, get these.
The tape is available at the show prior to anywhere else, correct?
Yep, exactly. We want to do any merch that we release will always be first available to show. First come, first serve to people who come out, and that's who we want. We realize not everybody can. That's okay too, but we want to give first chance to the folks that come out to the shows, just because that means everything, literally. So yeah, we'll have tapes. We'll have these fucking crazy shirts. The tapes are here. I'll go get one.
Oh, that's cool.
Fuck yeah.
In addition, we'll also have koozies for sale, which I'm stoked about.
Nice.
Something to keep you very cold with.
So yeah, we wanted to do everything really DIY. We probably won't do it like that again. Not quite so much. Yeah. We'll still keep everything in house, in terms of production, most likely, unless we get a crazy offer. But definitely in terms of media, this first run will be handmade by us, and when I say that, I mean handmade, hand stamped, and
and it's always I've done a lot of that, and it always sounds like a good idea when you're planning and you're trying to execute. You're like, why did I say I was doing this? It's
not even that. We ran the cost.
Taking forever to do this,
This delivery time is so fucking long, and you're you're gonna do it. And you're like, I get why now. I understand. No, but even the cost isn't that crazy different than what we paid, and
Yeah.
And so we have these cool tapes. I'll go ahead and I'll spoil this right now because maybe it'll make people a little rabid. So we have these cool tapes. They're slime green because we're dirty and shit like that. Oh, it's kind of ruined the surprise already. But so New Failures, and then side B, we're gonna go ahead and give you guys the first EP on the cassette. Don't know if anybody gives a shit about that, but it's gonna be both EPs on one cassette.
That rolls.
There's that. And then when you open it up on the inside, it's going to have the old album art. You can actually flip the whole J card around, and it's got different credits. The whole thing's, we figured if we're going to have tapes that have the link, why not? We don't want to leave it blank. We've bought tapes from people that have done that before, and totally a choice. It's fine. But we're if we're going to be selling these things to people, let's give some people some value. So if you want to come to the show, if you're at the show, I think we're only going to have 10 of these. The first run, so limited to fucking 10.
Wow.
Jake just said in the chat, he's eating then dubbing tapes. So, yeah, I just got back from Walmart buying tie-dye bottles and a grate for them to dry on and drip on. So, yeah, we're trying to do this concerted effort to keep everything in house and be as punk as we can, because we're not punk at fucking all. We're the least punk. Jake just got so Jake's tattoos. He's still watching this. Yeah. So Jake's just got his first tattoos in the past year or something, or 2 years. And shout out Dan Arquette, who's now out in California. But all of his tattoos are just he'd be like, what does this hard dude get for tattoo? He has SpongeBob tattoos and food tattoos. And if you just if you found a 13-year-old's trapper keeper and took stickers off, that's Jake's tattoos.
Right. Yeah,
it's a choice, and that's what's important.
I think Toadstool has the rapper has a SpongeBob tattoo as well. So
that's a successful human. So
Toadstool's awesome. Yeah,
there we go. Fucking right. Yeah. So we'll have that. We'll have the koozies. We'll have the dope shirts. We've got some cool patches. Everything's about selling and making money. It's not. We want to keep. We want to keep.
It's all about America making money.
We actually, the only reason we want is just so we can make more cool, weird stuff. We just have all these ideas for trashy themed stuff. Again, more spoilery shit. We want to make aprons. We want to make it's so much fun once you're in a band. I design merch and I design most of our stuff. But it's so much better than having a brand and like your t-shirt company. It's so much cooler being like, here's my band and here's all this stupid stuff we have.
Yeah. Well, awesome, guys. I mean, it's been really cool talking to you. You know, definitely everyone that's listening, go check out Alley Trash for their release show September 4th at the Bristol VFW. It's a crazy lineup that you guys just talked about. I love everything that you're doing. I love the new EP. It's just really exciting. You're an exciting band, and I just can't wait to see what you guys do next. So,
thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for
taking the
time. And
no, this has been a pleasure.
Catch you soon. You know, again, I'm super bummed to not make it down to that.
That's all right.
Hopefully, you'll only sell 9 cassettes, and I'll be able to get that last one. But
we'll save them for you. We've got more that we've got more to do, but we're only bringing 10. But we'll set one aside for you for sure. We'll send a care package. Maybe you'll get a shirt if we like you. You know, if this does well enough, whatever.
It's all about the money, all about the metrics. You know,
it's all about the bottom line. You know. Thank you again for having us. This has been super, super nice, and again, the reception to the record's been dope, and I appreciate y'all, both of you. Thank you so much.